Hello, welcome to Food Arts Systematic Approach. I'm John Gargone.
All right, welcome to Food Arts Extra Specialty Cutting Techniques. What I have here today is I got a macaroni salad in an oval platter, and we're going to go ahead and decorate that salad. No more green leaves. No more lettuce leaves around borders on salads or even on that platter where you're displaying like a roast turkey. Vegetables are so much better to present with, and it makes a fantastic garnish with all the colors and textures. It's a fantastic product to create art. I'm just going to be working simply with a cucumber and cherry tomatoes today. First thing I'm going to do is just cut the cucumber into a bias cut, just like we were talking about before. And I'm looking at the rim of the plate here, and I see that I have about 2, maybe 2.5 inches of space. So I'm going to cut them to that length, which would be probably just about this size. Yeah, that's a good size right there. And I'm just going to continue slicing the whole cucumber exactly that same way. And you can see I don't want to mix those slices up. You want to keep them the exact same order that they're coming off the cucumber when you go out to garnish your platter. And it's going to be real easy to do that. And you see, they're all just staying right there just by using the tip of my knife like that instead of the side of the blade like we were talking about before also. Whoops, those few just popped out of there. I'm going to make sure they go right back in their place again, pick them up. I'm going to work them just like a deck of cards. Actually, I'm going to start from this end. It's more comfortable for me. And like I said, the same way that it came off of that cucumber is the same way that I'm putting it on this platter. As you can see, if I just flip one upside down, it doesn't look the same. It doesn't have the same coloring. You want that rind side up, at least because I started with the first one with the rind side up. I'm going to go ahead and continue to do that all the way around the platter border. See, it goes pretty quickly. That's all I'm doing is, just like I said, just like a deck of cards, I'm just dealing them out to decorate and garnish my platter. I'm short like 2 more. I just take these 2 small ones and put them right into that place. That was cut too thin. It's not going to work. Look, none of these are going to work. I'm going to take it from a fresh cucumber because it really is important for the eye that you have everything all the exact same size. And still, it only took me what? Maybe a cucumber and a quarter? You know, so it's cost me maybe 75 cents for that, you know, for that garnish. And it's a beautiful looking platter just as it is. But I got some cherry tomatoes. Now, what I call these here are borders. And I want to seal the seams on these borders so it looks like it's a continuous chain. So I'm going to put cherry tomato halves on each one of these where they connect to each slice that connects to the next slice. All right, as you can see, I have all the bias sliced cucumbers going around the rim of the platter. They're all basically the same size. And just like this, it looks like a beautiful platter on its own. What I call this is borders. And you can use these borders for just about any type of platter you're making, or you can put them in a bowl. As you can see, I used a platter for my macaroni salad instead of a bowl. Salads don't necessarily have to go in a bowl. Sometimes this presentation goes much, much better if you put it on a flat platter like this. So now I'm just going to cut cherry tomatoes in half. And again, what I did there was I just cut through the stem end of the cherry tomato. And I'm going to make sure that stem end is facing in the salad so the eye doesn't see that when people view it. And I'm going to make sure that these cherry tomatoes also are all the same size, or relatively close to being the same size. You know, when the eye views it, if they're not the same size, it's not really going to have that same amount of impact. You really have to strive for perfection when you're cutting these products and laying them out. But you can see it really does not take a whole lot of time to do that. You don't necessarily have to put the cherry tomatoes, push them way into the salad. As you can see, I'm just putting them right up against it because I want to see that whole tomato half showing. Just a couple more here, and we'll have ourselves a beautiful looking platter. All right. 3, 2, 1 more. And what did that take me? It took me maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I'll tell you, it actually goes faster than laying lettuce leaves on your platter. Because when you're laying your salad on top of those lettuce leaves, those things want to move everywhere, and you're in there trying to arrange them all perfect. And you do want to see some of your platter here. See the white of the platter right here? What that is, what it acts like is your canvas for your painting or your canvas for your work of art. And with that white backdrop, it just makes everything shine through really beautifully. If this was a blue plate or an orange plate or any type of colored plate, you wouldn't get this beautiful presentation. White is always the best backdrop. for food. That's why you see when you go into professional places, a high-end restaurant that you may enjoy, they're always using white plates. Very little there'll be any type of markings on it other than like maybe a gold rim going around it, but that's basically about it. And I think a little sprinkle of these brunoise vegetables over top of this salad would also add just a little bit of color to it, but I'm going to be real careful because I don't want to get those all over the cucumber slices that we had there. That's it. Did you ever see a macaroni salad that looked so beautiful before? Unbelievable, huh? And it only took us a few minutes. Well, I'll tell you, there's thousands of different decorations that you can make, thousands of different garnishes just from the same basic approach, utilizing borders for salads and entree plates. Even if it was an entree of a steak, you could still cut some borders around those rims, and we'll be going over that real quick here. A little food for thought. Food is like all the sculptor's mediums and all the colors of the painter's palette. With all the wonderful textures, flavors, and aromas, food is the greatest medium to create art with. For what is the purpose of art if not to stimulate the senses? Food properly prepared and presented can stimulate the sense of sight, smell, taste, touch, and even sound, like the sounds of cooking of the gathering. In addition, the food is prepared by a cook who has the insight into its medicinal and nutritional values. A sense of fulfillment and well-being is felt after the meal. All right, let's talk about some professional knife skills now. And before we can even begin to pick up a knife, the first thing we're going to want to do is adjust our table height. Now grasp the handle like this. Put your thumb on one side of the blade, put your forefinger on the other side of the blade, wrap the 3 fingers around your blade. All right, now we sliced all our onions. Let's go ahead and just put it in our bowl. Real easy way. Bring the bowl up to the edge of the table and just grab and slide them all right in there. Often stays perfectly in order for me. And now I'm going to try to keep it in order with my guide hand as I'm cutting the 1/4-inch slices, or rather dices. Keeping the tip down on the cutting board. So you first view these, most people think they're real flowers. But they say, how did they grow like that? What kind of flowers are they? Makes for a very interesting conversation. When your guests leave the event, wow, they're going to be talking about this for a while. Take my French knife and just cut about 2/3 up from the potato. You can see how close that is to the top. And I'm just going to roll it because you see this stainless steel tube here is stopping my blade from cutting all the way through. And just roll it. Let it do the work for you. Leave it on the cutting board. Use the plunger to plunger out your mushroom. And here you have a beautiful looking potato mushroom.